Welcome, Hesbians, to Hesby Street. Hey, come see us live. Check out all of our dates on HesbyStreetPod.com. You can see Zack at Cafe Tropical this Friday, the 27th of May. The 28th of May, he's at the Comedy Store. He will be at the San Francisco Punchline June 22nd to 25th. Every Wednesday and Sunday, you can see him in Culver City at Citizen. Torio, will be in Burbank this Friday, the 27th. I'll be in San Francisco June 11th. Fresno, June 15th. Punchline with the illustrious Zack Chapaloni.
Your boy.
Co-headlining June 22nd. I'll be in Sonoma 24th. June 25th, San Mateo. And we got some more dates. HesbyStreetPod.com. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. You can friend us if you want. Joe says no. Don't do that.
We got some other things in development we shouldn't be talking about, but Quibi. Keep an eye out on Quibi.
And Tubi and
Crackle.
Fubi.
Fubo
is what I meant. Fubo.tv.
It's all soccer and Hesby Street now.
That's all it is.
We're still in negotiations.
Yeah. There is some soccer that we have to play.
Yeah. And Formula One.
Yeah.
We're part of a package deal with Formula One.
Yeah.
One rich guy liked our episode. Now we're part of Formula One.
That's all it takes in comedy. You just need the right rich guy.
You need a rich guy. You need a Mercedes-Benz cap.
Yep.
Or like a Porsche cap.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And speaking of support from rich people, head on over to patreon.com/Hesby Street. Get an extra episode.
Rub elbows with the elite.
Uh-huh. Plus more stuff. You just have to tell us what you want.
We'll teach you how to fit in with rich people. I feel like we spend a lot of our time on the Patreon side.
We know how to rub elbows with the elite.
One hint I'll give you right now. Tell someone you're thinking about buying a horse.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
You're never committing to anything.
Because you're a good, savvy business person.
There it is. Things are fluid.
You're like, this is a living creature. I mean, I'm not just fucking jumping right in. This thing's got a life of its own.
All right, let's jump right in.
Okay. We have our producer, Joe, here. You can say hi, Joe.
Hi there.
Joey Mack.
That's me. Hello.
So I was trying to tell you, Joe, there's this thing that pops in my head occasionally that I think of a lot, and it always makes me laugh. But Torio used to think it's bullying, but
I think it's both things. I think it's funny and bullying. Bullying can be funny.
Okay, so Torio has a speech impediment. He can't say ing sound.
Yeah, so I'll say, like, we're going to the store, and to me it's just going. But you're supposed to say going, apparently.
See how he says it?
I'll be honest. Like, when I'm texting, I speak in Torio. I never add the G. Like, if I'm saying I'm going.
I keep it. I think I'm efficient.
Yeah, exactly.
And 99.9% of people that I meet don't bring this up, but Zack and a few other friends are just relentless.
Okay, but sure, you can hide. You can hide behind
fun.
Going or coming, but you can't hide behind like ring the doorbell.
Yeah.
You know?
So sometimes it's,
If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. You know, so I pictured Torio.
I don't hear it. So it is a disability of sorts.
I've never noticed it.
You will now.
Okay.
There's been people that I have loved me, that Zach's pointed this out to, that I've watched fall out of love with me.
I'm just going to stop texting you guys back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't handle it.
You're welcome. So, Torio never did this in his life, but I just picture, like, back when I was a kid, you know, my dad would take us to church, and sometimes a kid would do, like, a solo song in, like, Christmas time, you know? They'd put him in, like, a shepherd fucking tunic or whatever, and they stand by the altar.
We all, yeah.
Okay.
I went to Catholic school.
And the drummer boy song, you know, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. A star, high up in the sky. I picture Torio doing this performance, and then halfway through, completely forgetting the rest of the words, and little young Torio with his speech impediment in a shepherd's outfit going, a star, high up in the sky. And he looks at his family and he's like, with a theme as big as a god. Then he just commits and he goes, with a theme as big as a god.
So much going on here. So first of all, so yes, I say thing instead of thing. But you are also picturing me As he's like 7-year-old boy in a bed sheet that's been turned into a shepherd outfit. And then I forget the lyrics. And then on top of that, I choose to replace the lyrics with a theme as big as a guy. And it's crazy how fairly accurate that is. I can see me doing all of that.
You looking at your parents like, get me out of here, dude. I'm blanking.
With a thing as big
you put
as
your hands
the
up.
guy. And then look around and be like, we're in it now. With a thing as big as a guy.
And you're like music teacher,
I
just
can
like, okay,
hear, I
let's
can
get him
hear
out.
me doing that, and then pure silence, and then just my brother laughing. That's what I picture in the church.
Oh, it's good times, man.
So yeah, that's.
So you just picture that in your head if you're ever down. Just picture Torio at a musical recital in a shepherd's garb.
Did you ever have to dress as the shepherd in Catholic?
Oh yeah,
whatever?
yeah. I did all those things.
I remember I'm in a bed sheet tunic. What do they call it? Like the shepherd outfit.
Yeah, I don't know.
My mom made it out of a bed sheet, and then I had to go into the 8th grade classroom to tell the teacher something, and I'm like 3rd grade, social anxiety. I'm already.
These are adults.
If I was wearing normal clothes, this would be a big ask.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a light blue because that was the bed sheet she could get rid of. No one back then was wearing a light blue shepherd's tunic.
Yeah, whoa, Mr. Light Blue.
Come on. And I walk in there, and an 8th grader is mid presentation.
Ooh.
And then he's got like the comedic timing I yearn for now, where he goes with it. And he's like, and then a shepherd walks in, and he's just riffing, and everyone's uproariously laughing. I'm just getting in my head, in my 3rd grade head. I just ran away.
Oh, you ran?
Oh, I walked away.
That's so fun.
I was
That's
like, I'm out of here.
Little Torio still
Yeah.
just like, nope.
Back to room.
I wish I could see you as a little kid just being so over it.
Overwhelmed is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I passed out way too much in elementary school.
Did you?
Yeah, I passed out a lot. You don't know this about me, Joe? When I have bad anxiety attacks, I lose consciousness.
Right. Okay.
My fight or flight response is
Sleep.
sleep.
Nice.
Naps.
Yeah, naps.
You know what's better than this?
Leaving my body.
Yep. Not being alive.
I know that.
Dude,
It's a problem.
It's funny. Like, you...
I'd like to say it's gotten better.
Like, I don't want to call it, like, being a baby. But,
A baby.
But we watch a movie and blood scenes happen and you cover your eyes.
You
Sometimes.
cover your eyes.
Sometimes,
You
yeah.
Cover your eyes.
It's
He,
not like
looks down.
it's certain like bloody like a war movie that's fine like certain but like anything where it's like inner arm cutting or like
Yeah.
the
Saw,
real
like a
saw
war thing.
if it gets too real
Yeah.
yeah.
or even like inner like heroin I'm like needles
Not into it.
I feel like that's an honor for, like, special effects people.
oh I'm sure
You know, they're like, dude, I heard Torio passed out.
yeah way to go dude that's better than an Oscar.
That's so good, man.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this podcast in general, especially this episode, is just
Making fun of you.
not just making fun of me. That's hanging out with you and Joe. I'm used to that.
Yeah.
But it's really getting deep into the
Psyche.
the psyche of why I'm a little pussy ass bitch.
Is it like narcolepsy where you like you'll fall asleep?
Yeah, he's like one of those
Because
goats.
No.
you're frozen in fear and then
You know what's weird is this. I can't talk at all. I get like the back of my neck gets like scorching hot right before I pass out. That's how I know to sit down because I've hit my head a couple times and like so now I know to get on the ground so the fall hurts less.
The neck getting hot is like
neck
your
gets
canary in the coal
burning
mine.
hot right before and that's when I'm like I'm toast, man. There's no coming back from that.
Damn.
Sometimes I shouldn't say no coming back. But sometimes I'm able to like get a wet cloth and lay down with it. Now I feel like it sucks because sometimes I'll talk about things. I'm like, this has got to be relatable for a listener or two. But sometimes I'm like, nope, this is just me. This
No,
is
there's
just my
someone out
weirdness.
No,
There's someone out
everybody's
there.
out there.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there that has the same shit.
Yeah.
So
You know
When was
what?
the last time this happened?
Turn Joe up.
last time I passed out or came close.
Passed out.
It's been been a few years. I ended up getting like really sick, and I thought it was like a heart thing. And I woke up at like 3 a.m. just having like a really bad. It's usually early in the morning. I'll have a really bad panic attack. And then there was a comic, Jason Webb, was staying at our place, and I was in my underwear, and he was in his underwear, and I had passed out and hit my head, and he like lifted me up. I came to. We're both in our underwear. My blood's all over him.
Oh no.
And he's like, all right. He's like Southern accent.
I'm picturing Jason Webb with his Southern accent. And
It's just like
makes me so.
And we're both bigger
funnier.
dudes. Yeah, it is very funny. And he's like, all right, like, you good, man? Like, I'm like laying he's not this Southern.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call the paramedics. I'm
Are you all right, dude?
And I'm just like, don't call the paramedics. And he's like, don't call the like, you're bleeding out of the head.
Yeah.
You just lost and I'm like, no, this happens all the time. And like we're standing. I remember saying that, and he's standing there in his underwear, my blood on his chest. I'm standing there in my underwear, my blood on my chest. And he goes, "This happens all the time." And I'm like, kind of different, but yeah.
You go. Well, I mean, we're wearing our underwear in this one.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago?
No, that was like 4 or 5 years ago. It's been a while.
I fainted. For me, when I know I'm going to faint now, it's like things get fuzzy. Like things get fuzzy and my hearing goes a little bit, and I just go like, all right, sit down, get off my feet.
Yeah.
Because we were at a Mexican restaurant in San Francisco, and we were waiting to be seated, and there was like a crowded bar area. So I'm like, all right, we'll order a drink. And I just hadn't had water all day. And I was like walking all over the city. So I grab a margarita that they give a salt on the rim. I take one sip, and I'm like, I need water. Like I didn't know I was gonna faint, so I'm like, looking at
your
the
body was
bartender.
like, salt was the one. We was like,
Yeah. So I was looking at the bartender, and he's doing other things, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna pass out. Otherwise, I would have been like, can you please help me? I need water. And so I'm looking, and I can't get his attention. And Elizabeth's like, you okay? I'm like, I need water. And she's like, all right. And she's like, I'll get you water. And she's doing the same thing, like looking, not urgent, but when he turns around.
Yep.
And then to me, I wake up with her crying, and everyone in the restaurant standing over me, and a woman who's a doctor like holding my legs up.
right.
Being like, this isn't my bed. You know, it's like this weird feeling of like, I just woke up like,
No,
what the fuck?
It's a shitty feeling.
But then what she said happened is I went, and I like smiled and like fell into her arms, and she thought I was being funny. So she's like, what are you doing? And then I go completely limp, and it's a metal bar, and I just go,
Oh yeah.
boom. She's like, I thought 100% you were missing a tooth. Like your teeth hit that bar so hard. And she's like still guilty about it. She's like, I should have caught your head. You know, like that's how loud of a thud it was.
But no blood?
No blood. She kind of like caught me and like laid me down to the ground and was just bawling her eyes out. So then the ambulance came. I've probably told this story on the pod before. The ambulance, fire department gets there first. They check on my vitals. They're like, you seem okay. They put me in a chair, and they're like, you know, the manager's bringing me water. Packed restaurant. Fire department lead. They're like, hey, paramedics are going to come by. They're going to do the same thing. Just sit tight. So then the ambulance comes. They go, okay, so you fine? I'm like, they're like, do you want to go to the hospital? I said, no, I'm okay. And they're like, all right, well, why don't we take you outside? And they take me outside, and they sit me on a gurney. And I'm like, I don't need a gurney. I'm honestly fine. And they go, okay, all right. Why don't you just put your legs up and just sit? And I go, okay. And then they just grab my legs and turn me into the gurney and like sit it up.
Right.
And they bring me around the corner. It's an all glass restaurant. So I'm just like,
Yeah, at this point, those people deserve a show. They deserve to see you and what happened. Yeah, it sucks. Like, because like when I would come to in class in elementary school, my first reaction would be like, "Fuck," because I was like, I know exactly like that whole thing.
Yeah,
everyone's got, and that's the thing about panic attacks. Even if you don't pass out, it's like once they're over, you just have to be like, "Hey, remember how I was freaking out a minute ago? Like, I'm totally fine now."
Yeah.
You go from like thinking you're gonna die to being like pretty okay.
Yeah.
Like maybe a little like sluggish and hungover, but like pretty okay.
And then
when
you got to
come to.
You got to console them.
Yeah, you're like,
Do
sorry.
you want to talk about anything you saw?
Yeah.
You go through.
It's weird. It's
know, it's gonna sound super Hollywood of me, but I think you got to lean into this. Like this is your thing, because you can't be white guy. White guy is done.
Yeah.
Straight white guy. Like, I'm sorry for the straight white guys out there. Your time has come to an end.
You're
It's
talking
time
to
for my
You're talking to
people.
yourself.
No, I'm... What? How you mean?
Because
I'm Moroccan.
yeah, but you're white.
No, you are on my land.
I'm on your land.
Yeah. We want it back.
Oh, you can have it.
This land is our
It's
land.
yours. From California?
Yeah. Pangea. We go
All right,
way
I'm
back.
gonna lean in.
All right, you're gonna be past that
It's
guy.
tough to lean in for me because I don't want to be like it comes off complainy,
No,
you know?
no, it's fascinating
Because it's like
you can't see blood and you faint. Like
because
a
if
goat.
I say to people I'm having a panic attack, they want to help, but they can't. You know? The only way they can help is like be like, "Okay, I'll see you later."
Dude, that's my favorite part.
No, I
It's
don't think
the
so.
easiest help.
I don't
All right,
think
man.
so.
Later.
But if I flake out, like we were supposed to hang out recently, and I was like, I'm not really feeling good. I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah, it's a minor inconvenience.
I just hate being. But I guess for me, it's like I'm piling it on myself. It's like I keep canceling on people. I keep flaking
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I don't really flake that much,
Right.
but I probably should for
Yeah.
this.
Definitely. I mean, dude,
All right,
honestly,
I'll start leaning in.
if
Dude. I'll
I'm
just
being-
start saying, "Hey, another mental health day for old Torio." Sorry,
Well, I meant lean in for your comedy career.
and talk about. I talk about anxiety on stage.
Yeah, you gotta have
It's tough, man. It's tough to make funny.
you gotta have a TV show where you're just having a normal day. And they're like, "What's so fascinating about this?" And then someone's like, "Can you help me?" And they just walk out, and you're like, "Yeah," and you just completely, and then you just dust yourself off, and it's like a Mary Tyler Moore intro.
Just in my helmet.
You're gonna make it after all. You throw your helmet in the air, and when it comes down, you're out. Like,
And it lands perfectly on my head. And someone walks by and just buckles it up. And then I come to,
yeah,
pop right back up.
yeah.
And then, can I do the splits? I feel like that'd be a nice little ending
I would
to the
like
number.
to see you have. I would like to see you able to. I believe you can do the splits.
You think I can?
I think I can. I've seen how you sit. I've seen where you.
Yeah, I'm oddly nimble and then unflexible in weird areas.
Dude, I stand by this. I know we're picking you out, calling you out. I think you would have made, and I'm not kidding. You know what I'm gonna say?
I know. I think I know what you're gonna say.
I think you would have made a legit
Ballerina?
ballerina,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
You got to see this guy's feet. He's a natural pointer.
Don't look at him, Joe.
I,
You look at the camera like your job is. Don't look at the feet.
No joke. Get on his OnlyFans. And I'm telling you, it is worth the membership.
Yeah, I got some ballerina type feet. Yeah, for sure.
We should do a Hesby cameo where you just do stuff with your feet, and that's it. Like, we don't try to even bring up the podcast. It's the Hesby Street cameo.
What is a cameo?
Cameo is like you pay them to be like, "Hey, remember, remember your friend bought you a cameo for your
Oh
birthday?"
yeah. Oh right. Okay. Yeah.
And they paid the Padres announcer to.
Dude, that was like the greatest and worst feeling of my life. I remember smiling. Well, you tell the story.
Yeah.
Well, we've told it on the podcast before. Anyways,
tell it again.
my cousin for my birthday got the Padres announcer to give me a cameo, and like it
He
was
was like a kid on Christmas.
it was like one of those things where it was like I was in the moment noticing the smile on my face.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm smiling.
It was so cool.
And I was surprised how good it made me feel.
And he was
then-
great in the beginning. He's like, "Hey man, you're a part of this family too. We need your support this season.
Yeah.
Thank you so
and
much."
then he goes, "I heard you're a comedian," and my face went like just immediate frown.
No, it wasn't. I think it was. I heard you do stand-up comedy, which is like worse.
Yeah, I don't know what
a hobby.
I don't
Yeah.
think it matters. Yeah, so like he's like, I could never do that. Here's a joke for you, and he told like a bad dad joke.
Yeah.
I actually
And then he told you to put it in your act
I edited that
because he
video.
assumes your act needs this dad joke. Like the disrespect just keeps piling on at the
Yeah.
end of this cameo.
I edited that out. I have that video in my phone. It's like 23 seconds instead of a minute long. Yeah.
and then he now the new ending is Torio's lips superimposed on the guy's face, going, "I love you, Torio. Goodbye."
Cameos need to be short, man.
Yeah,
Short and
cameos.
sweet.
I don't know who I'd want as a cameo. Who do you think I'd want?
I think Debo, any Niner.
Debo would be
Frank
cool.
Gore.
Yeah, Frank Gore. Kittle.
Kittle or Debo probably.
Jimmy G, I'd be like, "Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Get out." No, I'd want like a really superstar-y one. Actually, a Real Housewife.
Or 90 Day.
90
What
Day
about
Fiancé.
what's the little dude's name from San Diego?
Ed.
Big Ed.
My friend got one from Big Ed. It
Yeah.
was sad.
Was he? I saw.
He's like, "Woo, shots, man. I love vodka." I'm like, you're like watching him spiral. It's like not good.
That's kind of
I'm like,
fun.
did you ask for the vodka thing? You're like, no, we asked for a happy birthday.
That is what Cameo is. It's not superstars.
No, it's not.
It's people that are $20 a Cameo makes a difference for them.
There's a new 90 Day guy, and he's like very soft spoken. He talks like this, but he's Egyptian, so he's got the strict Islam shit going on.
That's funny.
So his lady he stays with, he's like, baby, why you don't have my bidet set up? I need this for prayer. I have to be clean for when I pray. And she's like, I'm sorry, honey, I just didn't have time. I'll get it done soon. And like, he doesn't have a job. He just lives in this house. So she has a plumber come by, and she's like, what is this man doing in the house with you? And she's like, the plumber? He's like, this is not right. I don't approve of this. This is, in my country, this is like very offensive.
Is this him very mad?
Yeah.
In that soft
Honey,
voice?
this is not right. And she's like, where am I supposed to go? She's like, outside? Like, do I stand? He's like, yes.
Is she like the normal tone?
Yeah, she's like, what are you talking about? But my favorite thing is like with Moroccan culture and a lot of these places, like there are open-minded woke people that try to be like progressive people that are like, I love it. It's a beautiful culture. And I'm like, you can't have both.
Right.
Because they like are catcalling you all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's
because your hair is out and you look American.
Right.
You love that? You love that? Pick a side.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah, you're just like, man, it was a beautiful culture? The Mongols. Genghis Khan really united a lot of countries that didn't want it.
Yeah, well, and yeah, he got rid of a lot of people.
But he had his way with them before that. And that was necessary. I don't know. It's beautiful. Is it beautiful?
No, you can't. I know the woke people.
I'm not racist.
The woke people don't align themselves with anyone historically.
That's true.
Yeah, it's only current. You just don't understand their culture.
I don't understand what culture.
Any culture. That's just what they say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're just like, you just don't understand it. I'm like, I think I do. I think it's misogyny.
And they're like, that's nuanced.
Well, but did you?
It's nuanced.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Wait, weren't you at a thing that you were going to talk about?
I gave a bike tour to Mr. Mountain Dew. Is that what you're referring to?
I think that was it. Yeah.
What do you want to know?
It was either that or something
Well,
else.
I wish the story was better than.
Why were you giving a bike tour?
So, a buddy of mine owns a. Well, I don't know if you know this about comedy, but it's so funny because I was up in the Bay Area doing some shows, and then a buddy of mine owns a tour business. So he was like, "Hey, I saw you're going to be in town. I have these big tours. Do you want?" And I'm like, "Yes, please," because I know a bike tour pays 3 times as much as stand-up comedy does.
Yeah.
So I went up there. It was funny. Like, I think Josh Waldron hit me up and was like, while I'm on the tour, I'm in the tour. You're wearing this tour shirt where it says Sonoma Adventures. Like, by the way, if you're in Sonoma Adventures, try it.
It's great.
It's great. You have this, it's a work shirt. I have this bright yellow helmet on, and he was just like, he was saying congrats about something in comedy, and I'm like reading that as I'm like, I have my arms out like this, pointing people to go a certain direction, and I'm like reading this, and I'm like, yeah, comedy's going good.
Yeah.
I'm just like, over here, Mr. Mountain Dew. Let me go. Yeah, what do you need? I'll carry you to the bathroom? Sure.
You're like, Gail, just turn it down a gear, and then you'll be keeping up. You can pedal less.
Yeah. When you go uphill, the gear, yeah, you have to change it. And then so that was
Are
the other
you
thing.
doing historical facts and stuff? Like,
When I lead a tour, yeah, I wasn't leading these tours.
okay.
So, I was just like trailing, just making if anyone
I see.
falls apart.
You're a helper.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about Mountain Dew. He's the third generation. His grandpa invented Mountain Dew. The company was Dr. Pepper, but I guess they own Mountain Dew or they're somehow. And he was a chill guy. He wasn't really in my group, so I didn't talk to him much.
Yeah.
But he was just the inventor of Mountain Dew.
Is he signing autographs?
No, it was all his employees, and they were just going to wineries and eating lunch. And
They look like businessmen.
not, I'm yeah, but like in shorts and like, it was hot. They were
But
out
like
bike riding.
They're like business guys.
And there were, to be clear, and women. There were a lot of women too.
I just feel like, yes, sorry. I just feel like it's very like, they probably look more official than like what the business is. It's like, where are we on the Flamin' Hot Cheetos flavor?
There were people, yes. There were people like, because it was Monday, right? So like, there were people that had to take some work calls and they're just sitting there in their bike helmet, like on the phone, talking like seriously. And I'm like, so what's the new flavor? You gonna try vanilla again?
Right.
What's going on?
He's just screaming on the phone like, I'm hearing 1% sugar. I'm asking for 0 sugar.
It's 23 flavors. If you get rid of sugar, a new thing has to go in.
There actually is Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew.
Flaming Hot Mountain Dew actually exists.
I didn't make that up. Yeah, it's a new
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
It doesn't have to exist, but it does.
That's what's so funny
Is
about
that
those
Mr. Mountain
companies is like,
Was that him?
that is not what I remember him looking like.
Like that is what I picture.
That is his vibe. That is his vibe for sure.
You're third generation Mountain Dew. You're wearing a headband for no reason.
Yeah, it's like all those companies, Coke, Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, or it's like 99 point whatever of it's always just going to be Coke, Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And then they're constantly like, all right, but what if we got this new flavor? And it's like, okay, keep throwing it at us.
Well, it's just when they're talking business,
yeah.
I can't like imagine it being anything that's not kind of dumb and silly.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I just talked to our manufacturers in Maine. They're having trouble with fizz. It's not fizzy. It's so not fizzy. It's bordering flat.
And here's the thing, it's the same amount of CO2 we're putting into it, but when you do the can, it doesn't do the and it's like, how do we get the can we okay, so I need to know, is this a dumb question? Tell me. Can we somehow create the noise?
Yeah.
But like out of a speaker?
And it's like, boss, can I pull you away for a second? Can you sign off on chocolate?
Chocolate what? And it doesn't matter. And he just signs.
Make it so. Walk with me. He's doing the like West Wing thing. That's so funny. The Mountain Dew fucking guy. What'd you call him?
Mr. Mountain Dew, dude.
That's pretty badass, man. My grandpa
badass.
didn't invent shit.
It's crazy to think that like a lot of grandpas invented things very similar to Mountain Dew. And that was the one grandpa that like he got the formula right.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes back before there was like every flavor existed, people were making all kinds of shit, I bet.
It's weird how like some sodas were so good, but they didn't take off. Like
It'd be
Fruitopia.
It'd be like my grandpa invented Surge. I was so fucking close. But instead, I'm a shift manager at fucking Denny's.
You got to maintain it. What I learned from my grandpa is you got to maintain Surge. It doesn't just bring you fortune.
You can't. It's the salesmen matter. It's not just the product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were responsible for Jolt, and that was a problem. We shouldn't. It was too much caffeine. Kids were doing it like speed.
Well, that's okay. So then
It was a gateway drug. It was actually a gateway drug.
So then we went down the Wikipedia Mountain Dew rabbit, and we found out there's a documentary on Netflix. I don't know what it's called, and it doesn't call out Mountain Dew specifically, but there's a town in Arkansas where like the culture in this Arkansas town is people drink soda like in sippy cups, like Mountain Dew in sippy cups to their kids, and like it's become such like an epidemic that they lose their teeth like young. And Mountain Dew, and so it became like a documentary gets made, or it becomes a big news story. And so Mountain Dew's fix to the problem, solution to the problem, is to just give them all. They just brought in like mobile dentists trailers or whatever, and they just give these people new teeth, and because they're like,
I'm not going to tell you to stop.
we're not going to get rid of our best customers.
Boom 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 Lemon Drink on Netflix.
That must be it.
Oh,
so I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, we went down. I mean, because
that is dark.
It is funny, like with these tours. So the day before that, I gave a tour to Maersk, who you might recognize from like shipping containers.
Oh yeah.
And so like, when you give people tours, you take them to a winery, and then you kind of just hand them off to a winery. and you just have like an hour and a half to kill. So I'm just like Googling about you got the supply chain thing here.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like, these people are rich.
Super rich.
You know, it's wine country. And
You know, I think like if I was that rich, what would I do? You know, like what's my first rich thing?
well, it's not. These people are on work trips.
right.
This isn't their vacation.
Yeah, but my work trip would be like a yacht. How many was in their party? 10?
They were big. I mean, I don't think these were like the CEO or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, big. You know, you got to think like both of these companies have probably 5 digits amount of employees. You know,
Yeah.
you're talking tens of thousands.
Yeah, wow. Speaking of soft drinks, I forgot to tell you I was contacted by a Hesbo
Ooh,
that said, "What the fuck are you talking about? Powerade was never carbonated."
it's not carbonated.
I was thinking of All Sport.
Oh,
Original All
yeah.
Sport is no longer carbonated, but I actually I googled it when I heard that I was wrong. I'm like, no, this thing that I'm picturing is right. And I googled, was Powerade carbonated?
Yeah.
Did it used to be carbonated? And there was like a answers.com, you know, you could just type in any question, and then someone wrote, was Powerade ever carbonated? And the top answer was nope! Exclamation point.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. You were so sure.
All Sport.
Yeah.
All Sport, which is no sport.
Uh huh.
You know, like you shouldn't be drinking soda.
Okay.
No, I was wrong.
You were wrong.
I can admit I was wrong.
You can admit you were wrong.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
No, dude. No.
Anything else you want to look me in the eye and just maybe a little apology
For what?
for calling me stupid?
Well, you can't pronounce ing. Do you
Damn it.
want me to
It's
say
true.
you're brilliant?
It's fair.
I'm dumb. I'm dumb all the time, dude. You see how dumb I get. I watched an entire basketball game, and I'm a basketball fan. Mm-hmm. I was at a friend's family's house. They had like a nice family setup for watching the game. And
To me, that just means good dip.
good dip, couches, the couches that recline on the edges.
Every seat has a good vantage point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clean. It just
You know
smells
what?
like
You know
white
what's a
people.
bummer? I get why you shouldn't have the TV be the focal point, but when you go into a room and it's 2 couches facing each other, so the conversation's good, but then the TV's on the side, so no seats facing the TV directly. I don't like that.
Oh yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I get it. You're like, oh, we don't let
It's-
the TV dictate
it's
how we
nice in
arrange
the
our
aesthetic
Yeah,
sense,
but I'm
yeah.
like, no. Make one
You
of
know
the
why we're
couches.
here.
Make one of the couches face directly the TV. If I'm watching a movie, I don't want to have to fucking diagonal look.
Yeah, I am never coming into this room to look at another person.
Yeah, this
directly.
isn't a parlor in the 1920s. You know what I mean? This is the TV room. You want to have a whatever fucking hangout talk room? Get a second. Be richer. Have more rooms.
Yeah.
If you only have one living room, and that's the TV room, the couch faces it. At least one.
Yeah.
Or recliners or something. But this is dumb.
Next house, we can do the whirling dervish, the
Whatever.
fucking
Yeah.
Wurlitzer, like Nazi-made fucking, what do you call it? Jukebox.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, they have like everything's got like an old Nazi name, and it's like a fucking, it's like a whirling fucking Lieber or something like that.
Sometimes on the podcast, you just have to be like, you're on your own.
It's
That's
a
where I'm
glass tube that fucking you lick and you fucking put your fingers over
at.
it.
The more you say, the more confused I get.
I'm not trying to reach you halfway. Yeah, dude, there were old
But I
ones.
interrupted. So you went to the family. They had a nice setup for
Oh
the
yeah, this is
basketball
how
game.
stupid and spaced out I am, and
Yeah.
I'm a Warriors fan. At the end of the game, I go, a lot of Warriors fans in the stands, and they go, they're playing at home. The game's almost over. And I say things that are so dumb, I don't even know where to look anymore. You know, like everyone's looking at me like, do you need to sit down or do you want to just leave the room right now? I'm like, man, what are these 10-foot standard ceilings here?
I'm the same way where when I'm at like a gathering like that, where it's like I haven't talked in a while. I gotta say something.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say, oh, a lot of Warriors fans said, and say it was an away game, so that comment went over well. And then in my head, I'm like, yes, I just bought myself 20 minutes of
Right.
dip time.
It's a game of survival
Yeah.
for you. All right, so Zach's getting voted off next. One more day of dip.
It's also like one more day of dip, baby. That's all life is for me.
Really? If you could sum up what you want, honestly, there should be peace in that saying. All you ever want is dip. All you really think about, Torio, and this is no exaggeration. I'm not exaggerating at all. All you think about is dip and time.
It's torture. It's such torture.
We discussed last meals, and your last meal,
French onion
straight
dip.
up,
That was the
bummed me
appetizer.
out. It made me sad. My last meal, I was like a Thai curry from this place, and like maybe like my favorite fried chicken sandwich, and like a really good like dessert of like some kind of s'more Wonder Bar, and you went some kind of dip, and I went some kind of dip.
No.
As a meal?
This is what I want. I know what kind of dip. I want the French onion Lipton soup packet mixed with sour cream. Oh, don't fucking try it. Try it before you nog it. And I just want some Ruffles.
You know what?
And then you can blow my brains out. That's
You know
my
what?
last meal.
Whoever's job it is on death row to provide the last meal is gonna love when you're up.
Day off.
You just hear them whipping the little packet. In the
I
back.
feel like even they're gonna be like, we have other things
is it?
that I can just bring with it. And I'll be
You
like,
can eat this and still think about like what you want.
you have all day. We're not killing you until midnight.
They go think about what the next course is, and then you go, where are you going with the rest of the bag? You could just make another bowl of that dip.